Over the last 18 days, the Terra Luna Classic burn tax has destroyed a little under 1 billion Terra Luna Classic, and I believe that number would have been much greater, much larger, much more effective for the overall burns if we would have left the burn tax at 1.2%. Now, we stated the moment that this burn tax went live that we would need some milestones. We would need to be able to judge the efficiency of the lowering of the burn tax in order to determine whether or not it was working. I am going to look at some of these numbers. We're going to compare what we could have had if we would have continued on with the 1.2% burn tax. We're going to talk about the less than 1 billion Terra Luna Classic that have been burnt by this tax, total burn numbers, and just an overall burn update. So if it sounds like something you're interested in, let's get started. What's up, everybody? I'm Clay. I'm here to make 2022 the best year ever. If you haven't clicked that subscribe button, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Join us, become a bro. We're here every single day, and we are growing our portfolios together. And look, if you're brand new to investing, you don't know how or where to buy stocks and crypto, you got a link in the description below for Webull. It is super simple to set up your account. Any deposit, you guys are getting at least 6 free stocks, up to 12 free stocks. And a $1 crypto trade, you can get you $5 in free crypto. Now, if you guys want a crypto exclusive exchange where you can buy Terra Luna Classic, you've got KuCoin down in the description, and they offer rewards for the more active trader. So the more you trade, the more you're going to earn. And then if you guys want to contribute to the burns, which we know that Binance is basically the only person burning right now, you can burn your trading fees if you're an international user and you use the link down there to sign up for international Binance. But guys, let's discuss this. Let's just talk about the numbers, and then we can determine whether or not this is the direction that we're wanting to go. Because people were very, very quick to judge the Terra Luna Classic burn tax when we first initiated the 1.2%. And it wasn't even 18 days in when they made the recommendation to lower the burn tax and take this 10% skim and send it to a community pool. So we shall talk about these numbers here because we are 18 days in to this new burn tax, and the numbers are drastically lower than they could have been. Now, we know that anywhere between 20 and 40 million Terra Luna Classic per day are being burned by the tax. Of course, we've had some days that are higher, we've had some days that are lower, and that's how you get those averages, right? 22 to 40 million Terra Luna Classic per day is much lower than the 200 to 300 million Terra Luna Classic per day that the 1.2% burn tax was burning. So in the last 18 days, we have burned a little under 1 billion Terra Luna Classic. Now, that's not bad. That's not bad if we're comparing to numbers that we had back in May, June, July, when we basically had 1, 2, 3 people burning, and that was the extent of it. And then Lunatics token came in. Lunatics token started burning hundreds of millions a day. And then the burn tax came in, and it was burning hundreds of millions a day. And now we're left with less than 1 billion over an 18-day period. Now keep that in mind, because that's our milestone here. If we would have just left the burn tax go, we would have burnt, based on the averages, 5 billion Terra Luna Classic. Now, I know there's not a huge difference between 1 billion and 5 billion, but it is a drastic difference when you multiply that out over a long period of time. Guys, if we're burning every 3 weeks 1 billion as opposed to 5, 6 billion, those numbers add up very, very quickly. And it's obvious that burns are not a priority, or we would be using the direction that takes us down further burns. So what happened here? Why are we not burning the 5, 6 billion every few weeks now? Because the total burnt by the burn tax is 8 billion today. That would have been 13 plus billion if we were using the old 1.2% burn tax. And this is just taking average numbers out, right? We had 3 weeks worth of 3 plus weeks worth of averages, and we could easily determine what we would be looking at there. Some days are good, some days are bad, right? But we get it. The average was still much higher than what we're seeing. The total burns are currently at 26 billion. They would have been over 30 billion if we would have been going with the old 1.2% burn tax. So if burns are a priority, we are neglecting them. We are currently neglecting them. Why? Because we have focused on utility instead. What we were told is that if we switch over to the 0.2% burn tax and we fund this community pool, developers, these app developers and so on, will flock back to the Terra Luna Classic community. They will just come pouring in, and utility upon utility will begin to form on the Terra Luna Classic blockchain. We've had zero utility. It's not even like a little utility is returning. There's no utility returning to the Terra Luna Classic blockchain because of the lowering of the tax. And I get it, right? If you're building these apps, the less fee that you charge, the less Terra Luna Classic that you have to charge a fee, the better, because it allows people to be profitable. We're not at that point yet. Terra Luna Classic is not at the rebuilding stage, it's at the cleanup stage. And I think that people are trying to jump way too far ahead. If you're trying to build on the rubble, that foundation will not stand. We don't have the clean foundation to go in and begin building on Terra Luna Classic yet. So if we're looking at it that way, and in an 18-day period, the entire community rallied behind, lowering the burn tax from 1.2% onto 0.2% because they were promised people would be just flowing back in to develop on the Terra Luna Classic blockchain, and we have not seen any of that. We have seen the burn tax drastically lower, and burns that would have been $5+ billion are now sitting at $1 billion. If we have seen no new developers coming in, no new apps coming in and flocking into the Terra Luna Classic blockchain, at some point in time, whether that's 18 days, right, or whether it's 2 months out, we have to make a determination and we have to make a decision as to whether or not this is working or if this is the direction that we are wanting to go. And right now, there's zero sign that it is working because the burn tax is lower, because we have no new development, and those are the numbers that we are looking at. Now, I'm all for going out there and trying to spark utility and spark developers and spark these builds that bring utility back to the Terra Luna Classic blockchain, but I don't think that this is the direction to go because it's not working. I do know, I realize that 18 days is very early, which is why I don't have the answer. I don't know. I don't know if we wait 18 days and make that determination. I don't know if we wait 2 months, 6 months, and so on to make that determination. But what we can do is look at these milestones. And right now, we're sitting here with roughly 4 to 5 billion less Terra Luna Classic burn than we would have had otherwise, and potentially the same exact amount of utility on the chain that we would have had otherwise. So I want to know what you guys think. Just a simple consensus in the comments. There's no right or wrong answer because clearly there's, we don't have anything to judge it by other than our own experiences and what we've experienced so far. So do you think that this is the direction that we continue on, or do you think that it's time to consider a change? Whether that's increasing the burns back to 1.2%, meeting in the middle somewhere. I want to know what you guys think. Let us know down in the comments below, and of course, if that button right there is still red, make sure to click it, subscribe to the channel, join us, become a bro. We are here every single day. We are growing our portfolios together. Guys, got ClayBro 883 everywhere. You're getting 6 to 12 free stocks on Webull, KuCoin, Binance, free Discord, and until the next time, hope that each and every one of you have an awesome day.